Am I recording? Yeah. Hey, welcome to class, everybody. PDF is when you want the probability of just one number. That's when you use PDF, which is why all of your homework problems were PDF, because that's what you wanted. CDF, which is what we're picking up today, is when you want probability of several numbers. And then it's also when you have a phrase. And we'll look at what those phrases would be. That's when you use CDF. The PDF stands for probability density formula, or function, actually function. That doesn't mean anything to you. The C in CDF stands for cumulative density function. Bless you. Hold on. One. Just roommate off. Okay, that's just my own code. It's not related. Yeah. So CDF stands for cumulative density function, which is a cumulative effect. Think about Darius Washington and the very sad basketball example that we had. The very first question we started doing before he started shooting free throws, we wanted to know what's the probability that they tied. And to tie, he had to get exactly 2 shots. And so at the end of the class period, we did that doing binomial PDF. And we showed, look, we got the same answer. The next one was, what's the probability they lose? There were actually 2 ways they could lose: getting 1 shot, exactly 1, or getting 0. So that was an or situation. That's a CDF situation. When you have multiple things that could happen that you're going to add together. The advantage with the calculator is it does all those individual probabilities and then adds them together at the end. So it does all that work for you, which is delightful. Never skip this step. Here's the step I teach. And the people that skip it are the ones that get it wrong. Hands down. Every time, every year. So please don't skip the step I'm about to tell you about. Always write out the numbers in the phrase. In a CDF situation, you're going to want the probability of a bunch of different numbers, and it's an or situation. And so in order to put the correct thing in your calculator, you need to know what's the last number in my list, and that's what goes in the calculator. You don't know what the last number in your list is unless you write out the phrases. Because from now on out with CDF, so here's a group of phrases for us. The problem says if you randomly select 10 people for a survey, interpret what the following means for the number of people who said yes. Notice that some of those are phrases. Less than 4, more than 6, at least 5, 4 or less, at most 2. That's what I mean by phrases. Those you're always going to do CDF. You need to write what those mean, and that is going to sound silly. It's a step that will take you about 2 seconds, but that's the step that's going to cause you to get the answer right, and skipping it will cause it wrong. Because when you have a phrase, you do not just automatically put that number in your calculator. It depends on what the phrase means. So that's why I say write out that step. So we're going to one at a time. If we're thinking about asking 10 people, and then what does less than 4 people mean? Less than 4 does not include 4. Here's what less than 4 means. 0, 1, 2, 3. Less than 4 never includes 4. That skill took 2 seconds. More than 6. More than 6 does not include 6. That would be 7, 8, 9, 10. None is a number. It's the number 0. That's not a phrase. That's just one number. At least 5 5. That's the phrase people miss of all the phrases. That's the one people missed most often because it has the word least, and your brain thinks less than. So you have to get a hold of your brain. If I say you have to get at least 5 correct to pass, if I say that, you all know what at least 5 means. It means I got to get 5 or more correct. It doesn't mean less than 5. So the phrase at least 5 means 5 all the way up to 10. 4 or less starts with 4 and goes down. I always put my numbers in order, by the way. So if you did 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, it's not wrong. It's just, know your system. 4 or less does include the 4. Less than 4 does not. See the difference between, where's my little thing? Like less than 4 stops at 3. 4 or less stops at 4. So that's what I mean about if you try to skip this step and just use the number in the phrase, well, these both have the number 4 in the phrase, but you don't put 4 in your calculator for both of them. So you need to interpret that phrase. All, what's that?
0 through 10.
0 through 10, yes. Actually, no. It's just the number 10. Okay, and the reason is, it would be like saying you asked 10 people, what's the probability all 10 said yes. That's the probability that exactly 10 people said less. Not 10 or less. There's no or situation. It's just what's the probability all of those people said yes. There are 10. So that would just be the number 10. The probability that 8 people said yes, that's just the number 8. And at most 2 means 2 is the most, but it could be less than that. At most means it could be 2, but 2 is the most it could be, or it could be less than that. None of that is mathematics. We haven't done any math yet today. In fact, we won't do any math today. So if you say, oh, I'm bad at math, well, good news. Today is your day. Now, if you say, I'm bad at reading, okay, now we have a problem again. But so some of these we are saving for Monday because they're additional skills, but some of them we're not. So now that we have our list, let's go back and identify which of those are going to be CDF situations and which are going to be PDF situations. You go through the list and write CDF or PDF next to each one of those. Go ahead and do that, and then I'll put the answers up. Unpause. I unpaused. I didn't need you, Abigail. Oh, thanks. Okay, hopefully what you wrote was, oh, look, that's a whole list of numbers, so that's CDF. Oh, look, this is a whole list of numbers, that's CDF. Oh, this is just one number, that's PDF. This is golden. So for all these problems, one of your skills will be correctly identifying PDF versus CDF. You get points for that. Even if you get the rest of the problem wrong, you'll at least get points for knowing to do that. So if you only want the probability of one number, it's PDF. If you have multiple numbers, more than one number, it's CDF. Any questions on PDF versus CDF? Swear? All right, let's go to examples. So these are what your problems are going to sound like. In the U.S., 10% of the population is left-handed. It used to be 14%, and I looked it up this morning, and it's 10% now. So I don't know why our left-handed population is dwindling, but it is. I think it's because they're stopping people earlier. You randomly select 11 residents. What's the probability that less than 3 are lefties? Okay. Less than 3 is a phrase. I write what that means. Less than 3 does not include 3. It's the number 0, 1, and 2. So in my calculator, this is a CDF because I have a whole list of numbers. We know what N is. N is always how many total people did you talk to? How many total questions did you have? It says there were 11. So that's our N, or trials for my 84 people. The probability they gave us was 10%. That's 0.10. All right, here's how you do your X value. It's not the number in the phrase. It's the last number in your list. That's why you got to make the list. Because what your calculator will do, when you type CDF, your calculator starts at 0. And it finds the probability that nobody's a lefty, just like we did in class by hand Wednesday. And then it finds the probability that one lefty, and then it will stop after 2, because you've told it to stop after 2. And then it's going to add those together for you, but it just does it all in one quick thing. So remember, you hit second vars, scroll all the way down, but this time make sure you choose binomial CDF. First number is 11, so your trials are 11. If you have an 83, make sure you hit the comma key. Your p-value is 0.10. I have these tiny, like, weird hands. I can barely. X value is 2, because that's the last number in my list. Paste. Error. Son of a gun.
I got 0.910.
Who, we like 910?
Yeah.
We like it. Okay, good. That's your answer. Look how easy that is. This is nice. Easy street. It's CDF because you has a list. 2 was the last number in our list. All right, then B, what's the probability? 4 of them are lefties. So I'm going to write what 4 means. 4 means 4. There, I'm done. So that's a PDF. 11 for your trials. 0.10. This time it's 4. We'll go back up and get that decimal here in a minute. At most 3. The phrase at most 3 means 3. Oh, never mind. At most 3 means 3 is the most it can be. It can't be more than that, but it could be less than that. Those are the numbers 0, 1, 2, and 3. There's more than one number there, so that's a CDF. CDF 11.10. The last number in your list, and notice my list starts at 0. It will be true all day today and all on your homework. It will not be true on Monday. None of them are lefties. None means 0. That's another PDF. PDF. Oh, I meant that to be in red. Too late. Let me go back up and fill in our decimals. While you're waiting for me. Go. My God. Is your roommate here? No. That would be a minus 1. Sorry. Slow. I gotta back up and get these decimals. Hey, don't forget, 100% of the time you will always have to do 3 significant decimal places. Is that what you got for number 2? Or did I do CDF, not thinking? No, you got that? All right. And that was a 7, but there was an 8 after it, so it rounds up to 158. You have to do 3. If you did 016, that's only 2 significant. You got to get your rounding issues straightened out for us. You don't want to keep doing that. That one, 981. 981. And then the last one was no. Yeah. Last one's a PDF. 11. All right. Somebody spit all these out for the next set so we can go faster. 314. Don't cut. If you did 313, you cut. Right, these are easy enough. Any questions on those?
Absolutely not.
What? Don't let Ethan frighten you from asking a question. He's got a sugar problem right now. He's holding on to that apple. We all know he needs it. What's the sugar in that? Sucralose. Cross-curricular education right now. Okay, this is one you guys have to remember your prior knowledge. A 6-question true-false quiz. You have no clue and you have to guess on all of them. What's the probability you get 4 of them right, all of them less than 4 or less? So your N value is 6. That's how many questions you had. So that's your N. Your probability of success, they didn't give you, but you know what it is. Every time you look at a true-false question, you have a 1 in 2 chance of getting it right, which you know is 0.5 or 50%. You already know that, so don't not know it. So that's your P, is 0.50. A is just 4. It's just the number 4. There's no phrase. It's 4. So that's a PDF. PDF. 6 questions. 0.5 is our probability of success. 4 is our X value. What's that? I know somebody has these. What's that answer? Do you have that, Dre? Who's got it? 2, 3, 1? 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Everybody like 2, 3, 4? Okay. Don't be afraid to shout out an answer, even if it's wrong. Nobody cares. This is college. It's not high school. I mean, some of you in here. No, I don't think this one has any dual enrollment. Oh, never mind. All of them right. There are 6 questions. If you get all of them right, that's getting 6 of them right. That's just the number 6. Don't do the thing where you're like, well, that one was PDF, so the next one must be CDF. Don't count on it. Just make sure you're reading the question. 6 total questions. 0.5 is the probability of getting everyone, like each one correct. 6 would be the X value of getting all correct. All of them would mean 6 of them. What's my decimal?
0.0156.
0.156. No?
Yeah.
Did you get something else? You got?
No,
Are you stuck for real?
no, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't want to be a smart aleck, and then you're like, daggum, I'm trying to get some help up in here. Less than 4. Write what that phrase means. Do not stick the number 4 into your calculator. Write what the phrase means. Less than 4 does not include 4. It includes the values 0, 1, 2, and 3. This is a CDF because I have a list of numbers. The last number in your list is what you put in your calculator. And then you get 656. If anybody's getting an error message, it might be because you're not putting your percent as a decimal, so check that. It might be because you're not putting commas. And the order is important. So if you're getting zeros, it's because you're putting things in the wrong order. N has to go first. How many total questions always goes first? how many it wants the probability of always goes last. Those are pretty much all the errors I can think of. And if you don't know where to go to get binomial, you hit second and bars, and then you'll get there. All right, the last one in that group, 4 or less. That's the numbers 4 and all the numbers less than 4. So this time, 4 goes in our calculator for our x value. And it's CDF because I have a whole list of values. So I do binom CDF. 6 is my trials, comma, 0.5 for my P, and 4 for my X. And I get, what do I get? 981. Oh, might be. What comes after 0?
1.
A 0's after 1?
No.
No. Oh God.
Oh.
Say the whole thing. Say the whole thing. Sorry.
0.891.
What comes after? So what is it before you round?
0.6.
Like that. Like that. Okay. Okay. Good. 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 So I want 3 places. You can't cut it off. If this is 5 or greater, that goes up to a 1. So that's why it's 891. Okay. Good, everybody. I like what we're doing there. Everybody do 3. I'm going to walk around. I don't want to see just a decimal answer. I want to see that and a decimal answer. And then we're almost done.
Oh, man.
For 5, you should put 0.05, right?
No, 0.05 is 5%.
Wait, for number 3. Yeah.
Oh, for number 3, yes, 0.05. Okay, good catch. Be careful with your decimals. If you put 0.5, that's 50%. In fact, that's why I picked a single digit, is to double check that one.
And your trick questioning at most, does that just mean 2? Or does
No,
that mean 0?
flip over because we had it at most on the other page. Do a flippy.
Okay.
But I have faith in my whole class. All right, so those are the last ones for our viewing audiences elsewhere. CDF with 1 as the x value gives you that. PDF with 3 as the x value, and then CDF with 2.